Whenever you're ready. You legit?
I'm good.
All right, so we're rocking and rolling, gentlemen. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. I want to talk with all of you today about a little argument that's been going on between SIG and Glock. These are two very good guns, but you hear arguments over them all the time. Some people are only claiming that Glock is a good one, SIG is just a lower level one. Others are saying the complete opposite. So I want to discuss a few things about them today. The importance of both of these firearms, which ones are used by different branches of the service, and I finally wanted to discuss the citizen's choice and the decision they made in comparison to the two. So first, I'd like to go into the service. Now, the SIG, I'm specifically talking about the SIG P320, which is the 9mm, and the Glock 19 9mm. Now, the SIG P320 it is a U.S. Army handgun that they started out with, but it had then branched out to all other areas of the military. So now the Marines, the Navy, Air Force, that is their handgun that they use. They had it altered a little bit, but not much. Its difference now is it's called the SIG P320 M17. The difference is the color. The color of this firearm is coyote tan. The regular one is simply black. Whereas Glock 19, the police typically will use this one. The Glock, they use different calibers, different types, but the Glock is used all over the U.S. as the main police officer weapon. St. Joseph County is an outlier in that they switched from SIG to a Smith & Wesson. Now, the gun specs on them, the citizen's choice, all right? So like I had mentioned, both sides are in there. The citizens love both these firearms, but they may not know the exact specs of them. The SIG P320 is a compact one. That's one of the things they love about it. It's small, it holds several rounds, but it's easy to conceal, carry, just like this one right here. Whereas the Glock is preferred by many gun owners for its reliability. It has been thrown in mud. It has been put in the ocean, and it has continued to shoot afterwards continuously. It's the reliability of the Glock that people love, whereas it's the compact design of the SIG that is easy to conceal and hide from others. When it comes to the gun specs, it's very interesting. The Glock and the SIG, these two are both 9mm, which is the preferred firearm for self-defense, it seems. They have a built-in rail for accessories, so you can put a flashlight on your pistol or you can put a laser. Both of them are 7 inches in length. The difference is the Glock's width is 1.26 inches, while the SIG is 1.3 inches. And the Glock does weigh more because it does have a longer barrel and it's faster in the size of the slide. Now, online voting had been done on this website that I used to aid in understanding the conflict with them. So the website had voted that Glock 19, it had 4,174 votes, whereas SIG, it had 3,738. The difference was 52.76% to 47.24. Roughly the odds of getting heads and tails on that coin also from the weight. Now, to conclude, I want to simply specify to you that SIG and Glock are both very good firearms to have. They are both very durable, and you could cycle through for 100,000 rounds of each one of those guns, and you will have roughly the same amount of jams and errors. So they're both very good, but it all depends on the citizen, which one they prefer and which one they desire. It's up to you to make your decision. Thank you very much and have a great day.
All right. Good job. Good job. All right. So we're down to 2. Ethan or Ray.
Who's not here?
Where did Ray go?
I'll go.
All right. Ray's going to go. So, Ray, what are your 2 options? Republican versus what? No.
Well, yeah, it's Republican progressivism versus laissez-faire economics in the modern era.
Ooh, fancy.
Okay. So, which one do you want to be heads?
Republican progressivism.
All right. So, Republican progressivism is heads.
All right.
Tails. I'm telling you, this is not a loaded coin. I'm not sure what's going on.
Maybe it's how you're, because I see you're doing this with it when you're done. That means it's landing on heads in your hand, but when you flip it over, it's going to tails.
Oh,
So that might be.
got to redo all the speeches.
No.
No.
We got what we got.
Yes. So, Brother Ray, let me hear. And everyone, please mute yourselves. Okay.
Right.
All right, Brother Ray, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, you are rocking and rolling. In 5,
All right.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Laissez-faire economics, it sounds somewhat of a complex form of economics. It's been around for a long time. It's been a part of the American experience since the very beginning and foundation of this nation's economy. It's a process which many people would, if you understand the word, which is a French term, laissez-faire, which means free range, it would sound like a process that doesn't sound that great. Sounds kind of like anarchy. And in some ways, it is like anarchy when it comes to the economic realm. But with laissez-faire economics, it impacts certain portions of the economy and allows certain parts to open up. Now, today I want to talk about this topic, and I want to talk about it in 3 different ways. I want to discuss how it works and how does it impact individualism in America, as well, how does corporate greed impact laissez-faire economics, and thirdly, I would like to talk about, do we have a class system in which can support a laissez-faire economic process? Now, the best time we have seen laissez-faire economics work the best was during the Roaring '20s. During this time, we had the least amount of US regulations with our federal government. And this was something that was pushed for very heavily. Many middle-class businesses and other larger corporations were doing very well. But the problem was that big businesses were starting to impede on the freedom and ability to compete for business with small businesses. And it's very difficult for a small business to compete with a multi-billion-dollar business. And this is where we start to see this huge issue. Around this era is when we start to see the development of American individualism. Post or pre-Great Depression, America was a lot more united, and we worked together on a lot of different issues. During the Roaring '20s, there was a hurricane that hit the southern border, and this hurricane showed how laissez-faire economics worked. All sorts of small businesses came together and worked together to create a recovery process to help other people who are less fortunate, who lost just about everything. And this is something that we don't see with a lot of corporations today. A lot of times you have to convince them money-wise to do what they should and otherwise do. Now, later we will see, and after the era of individualism roll out and this become a strengthened culture in the United States, we would see trickle-down economics, which is a form of laissez-faire economics, but it is formed to promote and help large corporations. that is the foremost focus of trickle-down economics. The idea is for money to go to the rich, and then the rich to spend that money and to use that money to create and businesses. And that often fails. And that's where this comes into the issue of corporate greed. A lot of corporations try to hold on to the money they have and give their bigger income to their corporate employees rather than give it to their lower employees. This shows the ineffectiveness of laissez-faire economics and shows how it is not working in a modern era and would not be any longer successful. As well, we see that we have a shrinking middle class that is not big enough nor strong enough to support a country with laissez-faire economics. If we were to strengthen our middle class, we possibly could support this type of system. The fact is, the old version of laissez-faire economics is not working or would not work in today's era. We still hold some forms of laissez-faire economics in our economy because we have a free market economy, which capitalism is. But we don't have the form of laissez-faire economics that we once had. And I don't think we would ever have it again. It could work once again if it's modernized and adapted to focus on creating a stronger middle class and supporting the middle class, and not the trickle-down version of laissez-faire economics. And if we were to do that, I find that that would be the most successful way of having laissez-faire economics in today's modern era. Thank you.
All right, good job, Ray. Good job, Ray. And last but not least, Ethan.
All right, so I have like the problems with censorship or a war with China.
The problems with censorship or the war with China, and you want which one to be heads?
I'll do censorship is heads.
Censorship is heads.
It's tails.
Yes, it is.
All right.
All right, this is the
Topic
final
to talk
speech
about right
of the day, unless someone logs really quickly before we.
Is this a good view right here?
Yes, I'm just worried about and interested in like the light
The light
by your
Yeah, I can-
head.
can move. Okay. Maybe right here. I feel it's the same thing.
Oh, but right there,
Right there's
Yeah.
good.
that's good.
Cool.
Yeah. But now you need to lower the screen a little
It's good.
bit more,
Yeah.
or maybe back up just right there. You're good.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, Ethan, you are rocking and rolling in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so I come here today with a serious concern. I'm concerned about the escalation of a Cold War between the United States and China, which has already turned hot. See, we are currently in a hot war with China because they have attacked us subtly but intentionally through physical, emotional, and economic means. They're trying to bring an end to America and hoping nobody will notice. But first, we're under a national crisis right now. And this is exposed how China is physically attacking us with weapons of mass destruction. So Mexican drug cartels are unable to produce drugs like heroin, meth, and other narcotic mixtures without the supply chain from China because of this crisis. These drugs and drug components are weapons of mass destruction. According to the CDC, in 2017, more than 70,000 people died from drug overdoses. China is deliberately sending these materials to cause harm to Americans, and it needs to end. So another reason we are under under attack from China is because, like mentioned before, we're in a serious crisis, and the nation that is solely responsible for the outbreak is China. China is attacking us emotionally through the ways that it failed to contain the COVID-19 virus. It originated in China, and like many similar diseases which have been popping up throughout the years, each time the deadly diseases seem to come from the same places, the Chinese wet markets. China had the ability to keep the virus under control. However, they chose to blacklist every term regarding COVID-19 outbreak. The president's not doing a good job. They on their social media that the Chinese people have access to, they decided to not allow communication to go on about the virus for months. That was the beginning time, the beginning stage, crucial for getting the message out there, getting people aware of what's going on. And they didn't want anyone to know. So that beginning time was the most important time to contain the virus. We weren't able to because China didn't want anybody to know. And it's taken a serious toll on the mental health of Americans. Finally, we come to the most influential factors in all of conflict in the world, which is economics. China is not only engaged in a trade war with the United States, but they also are thieves when it comes to intellectual property and the marketplace. Their inability to innovate forces them to steal intellectual property from other countries, which ends up taking a toll on American businesses. A lot of American entertainment companies are forced to change their content or opinions just so they can be profitable in China, and I believe this is wrong. China has outlawed the Houston Rockets because the general manager, Daryl Morey, tweeted that he stands with the Hong Kong protesters. And the NBA claimed that they don't stand with the Rockets because the market in China is too strong. American companies, they will bend to the will of the Chinese government, and I believe it is destructive and not productive for the American society. Wrap everything up. We are under attack in America. China is doing everything in their power to hold us down, to stop us, without our knowledge. Of the American people, physically, emotionally, and financially, they're trying to do everything in their power to bring us down. We cannot stand for this. This is a hot war, and it's up to us to do something about it. Thank you.
All right, so what I'll do is, once I've downloaded this video, more than likely I'll have to upload it to YouTube because it's probably too big of a file to send to Canvas. You use the video to do two things. I'll send you, I'll email you, or I'll put on Canvas the assessment evaluation sheets. So use the video to fill out those evaluation sheets. What'll be different about this evaluation sheet, like on the printout, you have like that little line that you would write the number on. Those lines won't be there, so that way you can just type the number in. So you would basically type out the evaluation sheet for each person, and then you would, I would say to save, instead of sending me 7 documents, whatever how many documents may be, say, Will, if you did evaluation sheets for everyone, on one page of your document would be the one for Josh, then on page 2 of the document, Brandon. So you would send me one document that's 7 pages long, if that makes sense, but you're just basically cut and copying the same assessment, and then you just fill it in that way. That way, when I get your one document, I'll have all 7 evaluations versus each person sending me 7 evaluations. So email those to me by Friday. Well, here's what we're gonna do. Try to have this first part done by Friday at midnight or so. Then we're going to present on Friday and then try to have that part done by Monday, which means realistically, I'll have the grades done by Wednesday. And so we're going Friday, Monday, Wednesday. So have today's part evaluated by Friday, Friday's part evaluated by Monday, and then I'll have all the grades done by Wednesday, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And so, and also use the video that I send just in case you forgot to write down the 2 questions for each speech. As you're rewatching the video, you could just come up with 2 good questions. Now on Friday, you're not going to ask both questions. The reason why I'm having you come up with 2 questions, just in case someone has your exact same questions you were going to ask, I don't want you to be stuck. So you basically got a primary question, you got a backup question. And if someone happens to steal both of your questions, just have enough forethought on the spot to be to think of a great question for each person. Other than that, I thought everyone did good. Thank you all for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. So I'll get those evaluation sheets. I'm going to tweak the evaluation sheet a bit since some of the stuff may not apply now on Zoom. And then I'll get these videos uploaded. The internet is cool here, but it's not the best. And so probably won't get the speeches to you till later on tonight or tomorrow, so far as the videos are concerned. That, be blessed. Any questions, any comments? If not, thumbs up. All right, great job. Take care.
See ya.
See you guys.
See ya.